We are back with the second part of my conversation with my friends, the wonderful Brandie and Ryan of Home+Sort and the How To Summit. If you have not listened to the last episode, I would love for you to go back because Brandie and Ryan run a seven-figure organizing business and they have boatloads of wisdom to share with you. They were talking about how they actively reevaluate things in their business a lot. And whether you are a solopreneur or have a team, if you are a four, five, or six-figure business owner, they have great things to talk to you about. I always learn a ton from them when I talk to them, and I would love for you to go back and listen to that. This second part of the episode, we're talking about a lot of other things, including what is new this year at the How To Summit. I love the How To Summit so much. I will be speaking this year. I have spoken for the last couple of years, and I am thrilled about it. But they are talking about all sorts of things they have this year, new speakers, new things, new venue, all of the things. So I would love to see you there. If you use the code Melissa10, you will get a discount if you have not registered yet. And if you have registered yet, please reach out to me. Hello at proorganizerstudio.com or on Instagram at proorganizerstudio. Let me know you're going to be there because I would love to reach out and give you a hug. And if you're not a hugger, a hearty handshake or a fist bump or really whatever you want. So, anyway, let's get back to Brandie and Ryan of Home+Sort and the How To Summit. And I'll see you in Dallas in just a few short months.
I think part of our reevaluating too is Ryan's creative and she actually likes change.
Yeah.
That's actually a good thing. I am more resistant to change. And so I'm really grateful for her in that way. And so I think probably a lot of people listening are a little bit change resistant. And it's funny because we talk about that a little bit with the summit stuff of like, why would someone come back to a similar conference every year? Every year that we meet, the world is different. Variables of how we're operating businesses. We are not working in the exact same
Mhm.
climate that we were last year. The world
Yes.
is, you know,
Very different. I was actually gonna say, you have recently planned a very big wedding. You're just like the consummate event planners. So now you have to pivot from planning a wedding to planning this year's summit.
well,
So
Brandon just roped me into another baby shower last night. Well, and all three of us had children graduate. And so
yes,
we're also talking about that. We're like, oh, yeah, we got to throw a graduation party too. Doing all the dorm stuff. And oh, gosh, it's a lot.
I admire you guys so much because you do like such, and I'm not just saying this because I like you, you do such an amazing job with the summit. You can tell that you have thought about that client experience, every single thing, the decorations and how beverages are out and how snacks are in the color scheme of the event and like all the things. And when I was doing my second and last daughter's graduation party, this is not my jam, right? It stresses me out. And I was like, Brandon and Ryan make this look so easy. I want to tear my hair out. And all I'm doing is putting up a soda station. Like, how
Yeah.
do they do this all the time? It's
Now,
impressive.
I did have a soda Shirley Temple station planned for our
Yeah.
grad party and I didn't make it. It didn't
Oh,
happen. But I was
I
like,
did the I did the swig
oh,
thing. Like we had
oh,
syrups and coconut
yeah, I wanted
cream,
to do that.
recipes. We did the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, I really wanted to do I think that's very
Yeah.
popular right
People
now.
loved it, but it was
Mhm.
exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
So I honestly, I don't know how you guys are doing it. But what you said, Brandy, about everything changes. Like the difference
Yeah,
between, we were just in Austin in September of 2024. I am still sweating, by the way. Um,
100%.
it was so hot. But in a year from then, in September of this year, we're going to get together. The world is wildly different, and our businesses are different, and what clients require is different, and financials are different, all the things. And I know that you guys are thinking about that. So can you tell us a little bit about what's happened at the summit this year?
So, we've got a lot of new speakers. Melissa, this is interesting because our industry, even though our businesses are all different, there's some very, like, neat things about the productivity and organizing industry that we work in. And so I think that sometimes maybe everyone has this idea of we know it all. We've
Yeah.
learned, or I've already heard someone speak on that before, or I've already heard about this. And so for us, like the creativity and the tall order is to put on an event every year to a demographic that's all somewhat very similar, that's new and fresh and super beneficial and is really something where people walk away and they have game plans, actionable steps, and things like this where they really find a lot of value in it. So I feel like we've worked really hard at that this year, as we do every year. So we
Well, and on a side note, just because we have a same speaker doesn't mean you're going to hear the same information.
yeah.
It's like
Correct.
I could talk to Melissa every day for 30 days and still not know all that she knows.
Yeah.
We do our very best to have great minds, speaking, people that have something to offer, people that we know guarantee that you are going to leave with something that you can apply the next
Yes.
day, Monday morning. That is so important to us. Something that you can really put into practice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Even if it's a repeat speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, totally. So I'm
Did I
excited.
tell you guys that I'm just doing my exact same presentation as last
Oh,
year? Did I
good. I
tell you
hope
guys that? No,
so.
just kidding.
I actually do hope because to be honest, there's a lot of, I mean, I know you're not, but if you
Yeah.
there's things
Oh,
that I
good.
feel like need to work on. So that would be great.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, I think it's like always bringing, like Ryan said, great minds, great information. And there is just something about a community. I read a quote that was like, if you want to go, if you want to go hard, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with someone else. That kind of
Oh,
I might have butchered it a little bit, but I saw that today and I was like, that is legitimately the truth. I can just speak for the 3 of us on this call about the amount of voice texts that we will have going back and forth. If something weird happens with a client, if we're discouraged,
yes.
if we're like, "Hey, what are you hearing? What's the chatter?"
Just really quickly, I was mad at the Container Store today, and the first person I thought of was, "I'm gonna voice message Brandie about this because she's gonna be mad too." And guess what? She had my back, and she's like, "That is ridiculous,"
And
which it
I
was.
delivered on that response.
You did.
Yeah.
But I think like that, there is such value and that I don't even know. We like can't quantify a value like that of showing up, making connection, and meeting other people, finding people who understand the challenges that you're facing in business. And so I think some of those things are just the theme and the heartbeat of the event. And so even though there's themed threads that are similar every year, it's different every year either. Like some of our speakers are talking about things I've literally never heard someone speak on in person or actually probably online ever. And there really is something for everyone. The space is going to be fantastic, plenty of room, pump and air conditioning.
Yeah, every year at the summit we do surveys and
Yeah.
and the people are honest. God bless them because they are honest people. We were touching on, user experience or client experience. The attendee experience this year is going to be, I mean, just a million times better. The place where we were having it, there is so much room. It's just going to be every year it gets better. And I say the summit is like such a combination of head and heart. We need business knowledge, but we also need to stay encouraged. And that's where the community comes in. So we do our very best to provide both of those avenues for people. And
Yeah.
I do think we do a good job at that. In anything, I think there's a lot that can be fixed, and we try and every year make the summit better, but I do think we do that part really well. I'm proud of us for that. I will say this for anyone out there wondering, summit tickets are a little bit more expensive this year. Let me tell
Mhm.
you why. Is that um everything's more expensive.
Everything.
The
Every
world.
vendor, every snack, every drink. I don't want you guys to leave going, "Oh, the Brandie and Ryan are just lining their
No,
pockets." That
they
is
are not.
not the truth.
You guys, speaking of my graduation party, my friend has a really good queso dip recipe. And so she tells me what I need to get, right? And it includes the absolutely delicious, not good for you Velveeta cheese.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. The
I
staple and faithful.
had to pay $89 for Velveeta for the amount of Velveeta that we
Oh, yeah.
needed. Okay. Velveeta cheese, which is really, it's, not that
Yeah.
great. It's you guys, things are expensive. Okay. So
Yeah.
you guys are not like
Well,
rolling in on a Rolls Royce. Things just are very costly.
yeah, to be honest, and hey, we wish we were rolling in our Rolls Royce. Maybe
Yeah.
some year, but and I hate that excuse. We don't like charging more, but what I can guarantee you guys is that this year's gonna be better. And so it's a good investment. We're not going apples to apples. This is going to be apples to oranges from last year. It is going to be better. And, and you guys need to sit down and think about, how much do I want to invest in personal development? How much do I want to
Yeah.
invest in education? It is something you should be doing. It's not in our business, it is not an option. There's a
No.
conference that I'm going to. Is it next week? Oh my gosh, wait, is it tomorrow?
No, it's in July. Is it
Oh, I was like, wait, is it tomorrow, Brandie?
Tomorrow. You should know this.
I don't ever know anything. Anyways, because I saw the 18th and I thought it was on the 19th. Anyways,
of July?
and Brandy's, you gotta go. You just we can't both go because Brandy has something going on. But you need to go down there. This is not an option for us. This is a female focused women's business event. And so I think a lot of people act like this is just kind of like an icing on the cake, or, oh, if I have it. And I would challenge you to change your mindset to, oh no, I have to do this
Yeah.
to make more money. This
Yeah.
is not, if I have enough money, I can go. It is, no, I have to go so I can make more money. So, and it's a wonderful event when you do come. And we would love to have everybody.
I
Yeah.
can't remember if I have already said this on this conversation because my brain does not work. I think I'm like Dory in Finding Nemo. My short-term memory is gone. But I really believe that so many people go, what I've done for the last few years hasn't been working. I've always done the same things and it's always worked for me. And now those things aren't working for me.
Yeah.
And I think the summit is an example of, you've got to go and figure out some of those things so that you can also be energized to go change them.
Yeah.
And it is an investment, but it is not remotely the biggest investment. It's actually a tiny investment compared to other conferences in the organizing industry. I know that for a fact. And it is a
Well,
teeny tiny amount compared to a lot of other things. And I would argue that even if you tie in airfare and Ubers and hotel, and by the way, there are people that would love to share an Airbnb, all those things.
oh yeah.
When you tie that together, the amount of client hours you have to have for that investment to pay off is
Mhm.
it's not, I mean, if you get one client from what you get at the summit, you haven't
Yeah.
paid for.
And I would say an important note, I feel like this is really something that I want to encourage the organizing community, is go in with an open heart, an open mind, and open hands. I mean, literally, you said something earlier, Melissa, and I'm like, that has just, your little sentence has got my brain. I haven't been able to stop thinking about this. I'm like, okay, I got to go make this thing after, because that would be so good for our business. So go in and go, okay, I've got something I can learn. I've got something I can refine. This is going to be beneficial for these reasons. And going with an open heart and open mind and a good attitude and with a smile.
Again, you guys have something cool and unique in that you have each other, but a lot of us are out here on an island, right? Like, I am a solopreneur. Even if I could argue, like when I first started my organizing business, I had an organizing bestie, and I would say that relationship helped my business so much because I had
Yeah.
someone to bounce things off of, and I had someone
Yeah.
that understood. So even if your only goal of the summit is, I need to go find some organizing friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was out at dinner last night with 3 of my organizing besties from the Minneapolis area. We were talking about frustrating clients, and we were talking about frustrating situations, and talking about our families, and talking about business and all these things. I left going, okay, I feel heard and seen, and
Yeah.
have people that understand me. And that's the thing, like at the summit, you just have a large group of women and occasionally a couple men who
Yeah.
all understand me, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard something today. Someone had said, if I show up thinking I'm somebody, then I can't receive from anyone. And
Oh,
Oh,
so
so I
true.
think just showing up with this idea of, I'm just like here to learn. I genuinely feel that way at the summit. Now, for Ryan and
yeah,
I, because we're working at the summit, our role is
yeah,
obviously different than someone who's just attending. And for speakers are working. Melissa, when you show up, you have a address to give. So like you're
yeah,
working. So you might be in a different mental space, but I sit there as much as I can and I just want to learn because I
yeah,
know that we don't have it all figured out. Yeah, we've had some great successes. We've had some hard failures. And I know that no matter what, I can receive from anyone at any time. A lot excites me about the summit. I'm incredibly
yeah.
relationally motivated, you know that. But all of it together, I just think is a really special time that I don't know this in this community with the way it is not happening anywhere else. I do know that.
I know that you have a bunch of new stuff. Quick overview of some of the fun stuff for this year.
Okay. So Melanie Summers is coming and she's actually doing a workshop and she's doing a main stage session. And one of the topics is neurodivergent organizing.
I love
And
that.
I
I
had,
think yeah, like working with people that are
yeah,
neurodivergent, maybe if you are neurodivergent, it encompasses the whole, it's like a broad painting with a broad brush here. And I think it's gonna be
Yeah.
yeah, which
Super important.
is really great. I'm really excited because there's a group that was kind of started after the How to Summit a couple years ago they called themselves the Summit Sisters. There's 9
Oh,
of them. They're from all over the US and we're going to do a really fun panel with them and just talking about they individually each of them say that coming to the summit and the relationship they formed together in this group has been the most beneficial thing to their business that they can think of. And so
oh,
excited to hear about their origin story and what they have to say. Ryan and I are actually speaking this year. We're going to do a workshop on relocations and then we're noodling around some of the other things that we might talk about.
Melanie Summers is also speaking about client acquisition. She is
awesome.
such a good communicator. We all need more clients, right? So
We do.
that one's yeah, that
Always.
one's gonna be great.
Even if we get too busy and we need to turn them down, at least we got the yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rebecca and Christina from Graceful Spaces out of Austin. They are incredible. I honestly don't know another business that's doing some of the things that they're doing. They're going to come and do a whole session on goal setting. And they've got some really smart language with it that they use kind of when they're describing like how they lay out their goals and things they want to accomplish and how that works with a team or by individually.
And their background is in the corporate world. So
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
bringing, Brandie and mine's background is just in being idiots. Actually, that's something to offer, and so they're very interesting to because they come at it from a very corporate mindset.
I know we have Tracy Bowers, Liz Wan, Jen Johnson, and Susie Salinas are doing a panel together. And just between the 4 of them, they all have really successful businesses that look a bit different. And the 4 of them also connected at the How To Summit in one of the beginning years, and they have a mastermind that they do together.
And Jen has never spoken at the summit, so we're
Yeah.
excited. We've actually asked her a couple times, and she's turned us down quite a few times. So we
Oh, so this time was a yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this time. So it should be great. And they all just everyone that I love has a different style of business. And so this is I say all the time, this summit's not about Ryan and I. It's not about HomeSort and what we do and how we do it. It's just about the overall overarching picture of what's happening in the industry. And yeah, Melissa, you are speaking, which I'm
I am.
excited about. Will you tell everyone what you're talking about?
One of the things I love about you guys, you have really great ideas, and you had graciously asked me to be a speaker again. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? And then you guys came up with the idea. I didn't come up with it. You did, where you said you have over 200 episodes of the podcast. What are the things you have learned from the podcast? And it's not about
Yeah.
podcasting, it's about the things that I have
Yeah.
learned and seen about the organizing industry. And I'm going to turn that into what do you need to be doing to take action in your business?
Yeah, I just think it's
Love
so
that.
cool that you talk to so many people. You're just getting so many snapshots of the industry that we don't get. So
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited for that one.
I
Uh,
am too.
We have other speakers too. Jen Dietz, she's out of Dallas and she has an incredibly successful business and she's got all sorts of systems and ways that she does things that are like they're so smart and they're so thought out and they're so helpful to anyone. And so she's going to be doing a workshop talking about those, which is really great. We have brought in a good amount of people that are just from all over. I feel like we have some organizers that are speaking that are seasoned in the business too. And so they've kind of lived through the ups and the downs and the trends and the whatnot and have really had caught their stride with a success and run a business for a long time. It might be easy to be successful for 2 years, but to be successful for 10, you're
Takes a different person.
luck runs
Yeah.
out. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
Ryan says all the time, we can get lucky once or twice
Yeah.
to run a company on luck. And it's gonna be really great. I know it's gonna be a life-changing year for people. And I don't mean to like over dramatize what it does, but sometimes one idea in your business is kind of life-changing, you know?
And I love what you said about being open too, because I think that if you go and you have, I don't have all the answers, you guys don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
And if you go and say, hey, instead of just looking at Instagram and having FOMO or thinking like, how is she doing that? People give you the answers of how they're doing the things. That's why I like when I was talking about Brandon and Mallory's session last year, they were giving the blueprint of how they operate their business. They were wide open. They were
Yeah.
happily answering people's questions. There is not gatekeeping. People will
Yeah.
tell you exactly how to do the things.
Oh,
That's a big deal.
yeah, and a couple other we're still nailing down all of our speakers, but a couple things that I know we're gonna touch on is a client management system. And this is not one specific, like it's not just Deb Sato or just Honeybook or something. This is we have an expert in the field of helping you streamline that. This is what you
Love
need
it.
to make this, effortless and to save you time. And then we're going to have someone talk about inventory and not just, hey, this is what I do, but there is now a program. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a software that you use about
Well,
managing.
everybody needs that. I've actually thought about creating it, except for I don't have those skills. So I'm happy to hear this.
Yeah, we're still finalizing everything, but that's just kind of some
I
snippet
love it.
of
I'm
the
so
content.
excited. And I'm excited to talk to people. I mean, I love the summit. It makes me so happy. And so I'm thrilled to be there again and just
Are
excited to
you
support you
you're
guys.
glad you're coming back because I made you wear colors?
You did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our
Yeah, you did.
black forever.
It's very upsetting. It was a very traumatic experience. I did get
Yeah,
through it.
I know.
I will get through it again this year.
Pink
I know.
nails.
Yeah.
I- That is friendship right there.
I want you to know I took off my black t-shirt to put on this top. I've got my black pants on and my black shoes, so I'm with
As
you.
you can see, I didn't. I am wearing my standard clothing, but for you guys,
Yeah.
I will do something different.
Okay, people.
I love it. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. Listen, we're tired. We've had a lot of stuff. Like graduating as senior, it's one of the hardest things.
I
I
know.
mean, I understand there are people that like run marathons. I don't get those people. But dude, I'm telling you, a graduating senior is no joke.
For real. I
Oh.
know.
Melissa, the events you were at the last couple weeks and the amount of money you have to pay for everything. It's like it's
Yeah.
like you need to refinance your house to be able to get your kid out of high school.
All the end of the year things. And then so someone, one of my friends with younger kids was like, how's all the graduation stuff going? And I just sent the Kim Kardashian gif of her just like throwing money.
Yes.
I'm like, that's how it is.
Yeah,
That's
it
what's
really is true.
100%.
Yeah. So if nothing else, you just know that you've got 3 people here who at least have successfully gotten a child, in some cases 2.
Yeah. Are
out of
we
the house.
currently broke? Yes, but they've got
Yes.
kids.
100%. We have no money. They have all the
Yeah.
money, but
So true.
They
yes,
are a resource that loves to continually take.
they really do. I did ask my in-laws the other day, and my husband was sitting right next to me when I asked him, I go, did your children bleed you dry? So my mother-in-law just very simply was like, things were not as expensive back then. And I'm like, that is a fact. So,
Love it.
well, I could talk to you guys, no lie, for 6 hours. I'm not
I
even joking.
know. We
I genuinely adore you as human beings, as my friends, as business people, as all the things. Thank you for being here again. Usually we talk about the summit, but I like that we got into a lot of other stuff today. Thank you.
know.
Thanks for
I
sharing your
think a
wisdom.
lot when we started this, you were saying things, and I'm like, Ryan, are you writing down what she's saying? Like shooting the breeze as friends. And I love that when I'm around you, Melissa, I feel like for me, and I know I can speak for Ryan, you make us better. And I appreciate
Aw.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I adore you guys. I will be there. If you have the summit on Mars, I will still be there. Okay, so I'm going to put in the show notes. If you use the code Melissa10, you do get a nice little discount on your summit tickets. And I just would love to see you. It seriously just makes my heart happy every year when people come in and say hi. And I'm
Yeah,
very
you are
excited.
the homecoming queen of the summit. That's
Well,
she's
that'll be the
so
only time.
popular. I'm like
Let's
trying to
see.
get some time with her, and it's
The
I am
only
not
time I'll
cool
ever
enough.
wear a homecoming queen sash in my
Yeah.
lifetime. But
Ooh, we forgot to mention this too. The summit, now you can make payments. If you're like, hey, that's a little bit of
oh,
a big chunk to make, we do have a payment plan now.
oh, I
So
love that.
yeah, if that is something that would interest anybody.
We totally understand. Cash flow is
Yeah.
a thing,
Right?
right? We all get it. We just got done telling you how poor we are because we have children. So,
Yeah.
yes. So I'll put all of that in the show notes so you guys know exactly where to go and how to get your discount and how to get your payment plan and all the things. So I would
Yeah.
like to see you in Dallas.
Yes.
Same. Us too.
Well, we so appreciate you having us on here, and
Well, I love you right back. Thank you so much to Brandie and Ryan for joining me. And thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys more than you know. I am happy to be here with you. And like I promised on the podcast yesterday, if I can get my act together, you're going to get a third episode this week. So stay tuned. We shall see if Melissa will get it done. I'm hoping good things for me. So have a good day.